This is the latest addition to our collection of gear. Ricardo was contacted by a local indie band called NSO, who wanted to shoot a narrative-driven music video for their newest single. Initially, the plan was to shoot the video from a third-person perspective, like a GTA game, but after much discussion and pre-production, we decided to opt for a first-person view, or FPV. This meant that we needed to build an FPV rig. After doing some research online and ordering the parts, we started doing some testing. The Panasonic Lumix cameras have a smartphone companion app that allows you to remotely control and live monitor the camera from either a phone or a tablet. Our initial idea was to use this feature so we could direct the main actor on set and keep track of what he was looking at. However, there were a couple of issues with this approach and it wasn't quite fit for purpose. Firstly, there was quite a bit of lag in the transmission from the camera to the app, and secondly, we'd be filming in a log profile and there was no way to monitor with a 709 conversion on the app, meaning it was difficult to see what the finished image would look like. Therefore, we decided to order a proper wireless monitoring system. We picked up a cheaper, lightweight one, as the transmitter would be attached to the FPV helmet, adding even more weight to an already cumbersome piece of kit. The receiver would then be attached to a Atomos Ninja monitor, which is really small and convenient, easy for carrying around, and has loads of really useful functionality such as false color or different monitoring LUTs. When an artist approaches us to shoot a video, generally it goes one of two ways. Either they have a solid concept in mind and we help them to refine it and realize it, or they come with a blank slate and seek our creative insights. The boys in NSO had a pretty solid idea of what they wanted to achieve and had worked closely with Ricardo to come up with a solid storyboard. The concept of the video was centered around the day of an average guy, buying new clothes, going to the pub and stumbling home later, with a few creative tweaks and Easter eggs thrown in. There were a lot of scenes to shoot, so we booked out the whole weekend and shot it over both days. The first scene on the shooting schedule was the pub scene. This was filmed at the Philadelphia Working Men's Club in Sheffield. They had a decent sized room and a good stage for the band to perform on. The band brought a bunch of extras to look like punters and we filmed some really good stuff here. It was nice to have a controlled environment to test out our new gear for the first time, although the time of day came with its own issues. We had to shoot first thing, before the venue was open, which meant it was light outside. This meant that we needed to be really careful about how we shot the scenes and even had to black out some of the windows. Fortunately for us, Josh, the lead singer of the band, is really tall. We had the same problem at the next location, the house. We actually had a few scenes to shoot here, some set during the daytime and some at night. Even though the lighting was a bit troublesome, one thing that was consistent throughout the day though was enjoying using the new gear. In all my years shooting video, I'd never used a proper wireless monitoring system, and we couldn't have achieved this shoot without it. It was so much fun. Although one downside is that the actor couldn't see what the camera was seeing and had to do his best to guess how to frame the shots correctly. Sometimes we just needed to get hands-on, grab him by the helmet and physically point him in the right direction so that we could frame the shot exactly how he wanted. Next was the nighttime drunk sequence. So a quick stop off back at the pub to shoot some outdoor scenes while it was dark, and then a stumble up and down Ecclesall Road with a variety of different drinks. Day 2 was a lot easier. We'd done most of the legwork on day 1, and so we just needed to do a couple of the easiest scenes on the Sunday. The first one being at a charity shop in Rotherham in the morning, and the second being in Sheffield City Centre in the late afternoon. To say this was the first video we'd done from an FPV perspective, we're really happy with how it turned out. We have some new gear now which we can use on future shoots. The wireless transmission system was absolutely phenomenal, and it's always a pleasure to work with musicians. And even though the days were pretty long, it was a really fun weekend of shooting. Now over to Ricardo for the editing.